Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the All Sports Podcast Olympic Daily. So today we're going to take a deeper look at some of the events that are happening on Saturday, technically day one of the Olympic Games. As we mentioned yesterday, lots of medals up for grabs on this first day. On the first day, we've got the shooting, 10-metre air rifle, we've got the diving, 3-metre springboard, we've got the road cycling with the time trials for both the men and the women, skateboarding street final for the men, and we've also got the rugby sevens finals. So the semi-finals will be in the afternoon, and then the finals are going to be on in the evening. So into the cycling. Interestingly, off the back of the Tour de France, people will be aware of some of the big names. Obviously, Pogacar isn't going to be competing, has pulled out with extreme exhaustion. Other time trialists are going to be there from the Tour, probably namely Remco Evenepoel from Belgium. A good favourite, however, coming third in the Tour, probably up against it. It's not a hilly circuit around Paris. It's 35 odd kilometers around Paris. It's going to be relatively flat. Where he's strong is also with hills introduced into the time trial. I think people are probably going to be looking more towards those that didn't take part in the Tour. So the likes of Filippo Ganna for Italy, and a big name and an upcoming talent for Britain, Joshua Tarling. So he won the European time trials last year. He's been building up to the Olympics specifically for the time trial this year. Part of the Ineos team, who really prioritise time trialling and aerodynamics in their cyclists. So he's going to have a very good chance, especially as it's not a hilly circuit and is a decent length. It's not too short. It's good length for a time trial at 35 odd kilometers. So that's for the men. My pick's probably going to be I'm going to go with the British one. I'm going to go with Joshua Tarling for that. Just 20 years old, so excited to see what he can do. He is going to be on the scene for a long time and will be a Tour rider too. He's as I said, part of the Ineos team. Into the women's, probably can't look too far past Chloe Dygert for America. Other honourable mentions, Lottie Kopecky from Belgium. We know she's very strong on the track and on the tour. At events like this, she is always very busy with a lot of races. So I'm not sure if she's prioritising this, but would be a name in the hat too. Probably also looking at Ellen van Dijk as a good option, but Chloe Dygert's going to be going into this the favourite. Into the swimming, and we've got, well, it's been spoken about, it's been in the media quite a bit. The Australian national coach, who also coaches Kim from Korea, has his athletes all against each other. Well, they will be if they get to the final, but all against each other in the men's 400 meters. So Kim will be one of the favourites, but then you've also got winner by name and nature, Elijah Winnington from Australia, as well as Sam Short for Australia, who are going to be up there as medal contenders, and probably the favourite's going to be the German Lucas Martens. So it'll be interesting just because of the build-up, and the Australian coach and Kim's coach made some interesting comments building up to the Olympics that he'd like Kim to win. When you're the Australian national swimming coach, it's not a great look. But that's going to be a nice story over the next couple of days. So we'll see what comes out of that. But Lucas Martin's probably favourite for Germany. Good to have the Australians in there with Sam Short and Elijah Winnington, and then, as I said, Kim from Korea. We've also got the relays. So the relays, it is the usual contenders. In the pool, it's very much Australia versus USA. Great Britain, China, France and Italy and the other European nations will feature too. Primarily favourites for the 4x100 metre freestyles is going to be USA and Australia probably in that order too. And then you've got a very close pack behind that are going to be fighting out for that last medal position with Great Britain, France, Germany, China in the mix as well. And that's across both the men and the women. The other big event of the day on day one is going to be the rugby for me, the rugby sevens. So you've got the placing game seeds 5 to 8, and then we've got the semi-final. So semi-final between Fiji and Australia. Expect Australia to get beaten in that, and Fiji as favourites to make it into the final. On the other side of the draw, got France versus South Africa. Would expect France to just tip the scales on that one. As we mentioned, DuPont's now starting to score. He scored now a few tries, assisted lots, and starting to make more of an impact on the team and on the tournament. So looks like it will be a France-Fiji final in the evening, but with rugby sevens, anything can happen at this stage of the tournament. So that kicking off from 2:30, the men's semi-finals between South Africa and France, and then Fiji and Australia, with the final then to take place at 6:45 in the evening. So set up then after the rugby sevens at 6:45 to then head across to the pool for the finals. The men's 400 meters kicking us off at 7:42. So straight after the rugby sevens into the pool. And something else that I'm going to be looking at. Tomorrow, and it's taking place tomorrow evening because it's happening in Tahiti. We'd mentioned it before, one of the events that we're looking forward to, the surfing taking place in Tahiti in French Polynesia. So that kicks off from 6 o'clock Saturday evening. So it's men's round one kicks off on Saturday evening, and then the women's is taking place after that, also on Saturday evening. So women's taking place a little bit later on after 10:45. Lots to look forward to. Now on to the opening ceremony. Opening ceremony for the first time, not in an actual stadium, but along the River Seine. 10,000 athletes getting shipped along the river by boat. So more like an athletes parade, perhaps. But whatever else will be going on theatrically, taking a tour of the city's best sites. Just interesting concept to have it like that, whereas previously it's always been done in a stadium. So we'll see what that's like. Never too big on the opening ceremonies. I'm here for the sport, so really looking forward to that kicking off on Saturday morning. If you enjoy listening along, like us and subscribe on Spotify, rate 5 stars, auto download, and you can get in touch at allsportspods@gmail.com, and we will catch you on the next one.